All right, we are back. Hopefully we are back. We had a cord lying around. Hopefully it's just the cord and not my icicle, because these things are expensive. And I've already gone through a ton of them. Really great. I'll show you what it is. You guys can see. Not trying to show my junk, I promise. Hey, get over here, Logitech. So really great, but they're so flimsily built that I've broke a couple of them just by dropping them. And I've also rolled over one of them. How did I break the other one? I just bent it. Oh, this I have is terrible. Actually, looking out. Okay, so I think it's actually the icicle itself is busted. So I am going to have to switch over to this crappy other mic here, and it's just not going to have the same quality. I'm just going to have to get another icicle ordered. It's separating at the top is what it's doing. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and just switch. 1 second here while I switch into it. You can tell the quality is going to be much. See how this one sounds. So this is the Yeti. You can tell the quality. I don't know if I just got a lemon with the Yeti or not. I have to figure out where to position this damn thing. It's so bulky too. I hate how, I guess I don't need this mic stand by me. It's just, I'm just not a fan. It'll pick up things from like three, like when, especially when the shop gets noisy, it'll pick up things from like 3 rooms down. Like I can hear the Commander game going on when I use the Yeti. So it's not the best quality, but we're gonna have to live with it till I get a new icicle ordered. So like I was saying, these things, I figured what it is. That's what it is. It's coming apart right here in the mic. So this part hooks on to this part, and it's just pretty poorly built, I guess, is what's happening, and somehow it's just becoming loose and separated from the mic. Hopefully it's not the Shure itself, because the Shure is a really good microphone, and I'd hate to have to replace this. I think these are a couple $100 is what they go for. So right now we'll just have to use the Yeti, and hopefully it works out for everyone. How is the sound quality? Probably a little bit echoey. That's what I can't stand about it. But yeah, this thing's busted. All right, so I guess we can get going on this. So what ideas does everyone have? Does everyone want to build a new deck, or do you want to try out this new and improved Majestic SARS deck? Anyone ever used a Yeti before? Am I just being retarded for how... Uh-oh, I said the word. Oh, can't lose a sponsor, though. Hey, Zach just came in and slapped me. I don't think everyone saw that.
Slapped your wrist.
He slapped my wrist. So, yeah, good thing, though. No worries about punishment. I can be as offensive as I want, right? So anyway, has anyone ever used a Yeti before? Is there something I need to do with it? Like, I've tried to see if there's any software that goes with it. Nope, nothing came with it. It's got these little buttons on the side, and it's definitely on the one that you're supposed to be using if you just speak into it. And yeah, but I've watched a bunch of other YouTube channels, and their Yetis sound great, and mine sounds awful. It sounds like worse than the Logitech webcam would be. So I don't know. We'll get going though here. All right, so if Packrat Fever was still in here, he'd be able to recommend a deck. But since there hasn't been anyone that wants to feed the rogue coffers, I guess I'll just play a deck I want to play with, and then we will be open up to suggestions. So I want to give this Majestosaurus another try before. I'm going to switch this chat window over here so I can actually see stuff. All right, so yeah, that's easier to see the chat now. So I want to give this a try. I want to see what the deck's missing, if we need main board removal, or if just the 2 Abrades are going to be enough. Savage Stomp was working for me, but I think going down in the dinosaurs makes Savage Stomp a lot worse. Here, I'll bring over the display window because I know you guys can't see the sideboard at the moment. So basically the theory of this deck is to try to get out the Majestic Myriarch with the Samut Voice of Dissent, because you have a double strike haste creature, and then it one-shots. The power from just the Majestic Myriarch plus the Samut will dish off enough damage to kill the opponent, because this one will do 6, and this one will do usually, I guess you'd have to have another creature out, and then it will become a 6/6, and then it will do enough damage basically to one-shot your opponents usually, if you've done any sort of damage before that. But if the Majestic Myriarch has a couple creatures out, so if it ends up having itself and 2 other creatures, it ends up being an 8/8, so that's 16 damage, or that's 16 damage there, because it's twice the power of creatures you have. I've tried Majestic Myriarch with some other cool cards like the Angel or the Cat, the Regal Caracal. I think there's some merit in trying to build around that way. I think this card's the next most underrated card that I've messed around with in Standard, because it's just a powerhouse once you get it out. So I'm going to queue this up. Are there suggestions anyone would have? I think the 24 lands is right, unless I was going to go down into something like the Attune with Aether. And then Attune would allow us to play Harness Lightning over Abrade, but Abrade does kill Godpharaoh's Gifts at the moment, so I don't know if I want Abrade over Harness Lightning. Harness Lightning is just a card that has pretty good synergy with Attune with Aether, because it scales quite well. And then instead of Chandler Initiates, we could run the Servants. And of course, Aether Hubs at that point could actually be another one that could just fix it. But I don't know if I want to go down that road. Hexproof Catcaller is a card that I don't think we quite need in the deck, because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll tap out, you'll end of turn Samut, because this has Flash. That's what's also cool with Samut, is the Flash. And then you flash in and end of turn, and then you hard cast a Majestic Myriarch, and then you can swing in. I mean, this will do 6 damage by itself. This will do another 8. It will be a 4/4 with double strike, so it will do another 8 damage. So that's 14 damage on the backswing. Again, if you have another card, it becomes a 6/6, another creature, and that'll do 12 more damage with the double strike. And so the majority of the games I was killing people with just the Samut into Majestic Myriarch. There was another deck that I made that you can go check out some older versions on Gathering Magic, where it was a combo deck that used the cards, the exiled cards from your graveyard. I think it was XXX blue, 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 that spell. Or is it XX blue, blue, blue? And you can exile X amount of creatures from your graveyard and make 4/4 copies of each one of them. And so it comes in, you just need to exile Samut and Majestic Myriarch, and then it comes in with a haste, double strike, and whatnot. So hexproof, there is actually good ones like the Carnage Tyrant has hexproof Trample. I've got one in the sideboard versus those real grindy matchups, but I haven't really found it necessary. The next best card to give it actual abilities would be Ronus with the Death Touch Indestructible, and then you can also give it Trample with putting 3 mana into it. But it also wasn't a card that I cared for. Aether Sphere Harvester would be probably the 3rd best one in this color combination, because then it has lifelink and flying, and that can be also pretty good in those like back and forth type matchups. So Harvester's in here for the red matchup at the moment. I've tried a Crescent Summer deck. Let's just look at that deck real quick. I've got another one here. Majestic. Okay, nope. This, I must have deleted it. As there was one I was a green-white Majestic deck that I was messing around with, and it was running like the horses, the cats, so the Regal Caracals, because Caracals also get pretty interesting with Majestic Mirror Arc because it creates 3 dudes for 1, and then Majestic Mirror Arc becomes the 4th, so it's an 8/8 with lifelink. That's pretty sweet. But again, I just found it like this is probably the best way to build a Mirror Arc deck at the moment is Samut. So, but the green-white again does have merit because you have some cool cards too, like Prepare to Fight that can give lifelink off of it, and it does a lot of damage at that point. But yeah, so I think we're gonna play this one. Let's see if I can. I'll try to read comments the best I can. I need a better way to fit this in. Well, speaking of the Cryptoth rights, yeah, you can try to run the growing rights of whatever it's called, the enchantment. But I think that's not actually bad with like the Regal Caracal, because the Regal Caracal is getting enough creatures for that to flip, and then you can pump in a ton of mana. But the only real mana dump we have at the moment is something like a Aronis or an Oketra, and I don't know if either of those are worthwhile at the moment. So let's just go down this list though. Like I can give Hexproof with Blossoming Defense. That's a way to protect our early game. A Braid's in here just for having at least some removal in our main. The Deathgorge Scavenger is good versus the Rametup match. It's also not bad versus all of the Godfarrow's Gift decks going out around right now. And the whole point of this deck though is to go from the 2-drop to the 4-drop slot and then establish the mid with being a Chandra or Ripjaw Raptor, and then establishing the finisher. So the Majestic Mirror Arc pairs with any one of these quite well. The Charging Monstersaur, the Regisar Alpha, and the Samut Voice of Dissent. So that's kind of the whole theory behind this deck. The Fiery Cannonade is pretty good versus any deck that tries to flood the board. Another Braid for those matchups where we need to kill the specific artifacts. We have, here, I'll pull this over. There we go. Now we can see it all. We have a Lifecraft Bestiary as for the control match with 1 Heroic Intervention, 1 Shaper's Sanctuary, and 1 Carnage Tyrant will also come in versus the control. And Harvesters and Scavengers will come in. It's Rametup. Scavengers will also come in versus anything we need to get rid of the graveyard. And Ronus is really in here for the teamer match. So that's it. And Savage Stomp for the teamer match as well. So that's kind of the gist of the deck. So we're going to try this for now unless anyone wants to take over the channel, rule of the game. If anything over right now over a $10 donation, you can then make me build a deck with a specific card or theme. Or if you just want to see a specific deck, I'll go ahead and play it. So bear with me as I get my stream bearings back together. It's been a long time since I've been doing live streams where I actually play games, so I'm distracted by everything, trying to figure out the best course of action of keeping you guys entertained, plus trying to concentrate on the game. That is kind of rough with Magic the Gathering. It can be a bit of a tricky... Let's waste some tickets here. Let's go ahead and lose all my money on this expensive game. So yeah, how is the audio? Is it extremely echoey? I didn't even try to test it before I just hooked it in. Because this other mic, yep. I swear I have another icicle lying around. I'm going to have to look for it. Do I have one in the drawer? Go in the drawer. I actually might have another icicle here. The problem with this stupid icicle, too, is it was getting a buzz for I would say a good 2-3 months. And then the buzz just went away. Like, I had to use a program to filter out the buzz. And then all of a sudden it was fixed. And so I just don't understand this company. It's like everything's so hit or miss because I've gone through like 4 of these suckers and haven't changed any settings or anything. So
that's all you got.
No, that's just a condenser mic. Okay. It'd be like this in a package.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder why, because I ordered 2 of them. I don't know what happened to the other one. Yeah, it's gotta be in my house. Chloe, where'd you put it?
What'd you do with it, Chloe?
Oh, I have sound turned on. Hopefully you guys don't mind that sound. Hopefully it's low enough as well. All right, so go ahead and get rid of this stupid thing.
Sound decent.
That's a vibrator.
What?
I don't think it is. That'd be. I think Zach would enjoy that, but Not Kevin.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you just found my heat gun. I'm like, I didn't leave that laying out.
All right, so just in case purple shows up too, we don't even have just one. We have a case of Clorox. A case of Clorox for MTG purple if he shows up. Alrighty, so this is a keepable hand. It's kind of slow, but it's got the drover. And we are on the draw. Did we actually do this in a competitive league? Geez, I am suicidal. I just hate money, don't I? I would laugh if this is a Godbarrow's Gift deck because we have the key card versus Godbarrow's Gift. I wonder if I can steal the chat over here. That will make me... Yeah, okay, it doesn't mess with it. If I mess with the chat, it doesn't mess with... Hey, now I can read your chats and keep up with the game at the same time. All right, that should work out good. All right. Oh, no, every time I mess with it, it moves it. Ugh. Let me get back to the regular how I had it. Womp womp. One of these days I'll get good at streaming. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll just end up playing the Shelter Thicket into play tapped. I don't see myself cycling it. Is this sound on too? Let's get rid of the sound down a little bit. I know I've got sound turned on just to give me some sort of like ambience. I can't stand playing like a quiet game. But hopefully it's not too annoying. So a black-blue deck. There haven't been many black-blue decks running around. And this actually will play untapped because the Shelter Thicket is considered a forest land. So we're just going to go ahead and go with Drover here. So we have a pretty good hand versus a control deck. And it gets censored, that's fine. So 2 of these matchups in a row. I apologize for everyone that doesn't like to watch against Drago control. But I haven't seen a black-blue control deck in forever. I mean, they've been completely replaced by the white, because white is the search and the fumigate are key cards. The black was okay versus the Ramunap at first, and maybe that's what it's in here for. But I mean, we're going to get some pretty good value out of this. The Deathgore Scavenger, it can't be fatal pushed at the moment. This is going to put my opponent kind of at a defensive position. And I still think we just run Chandra out. I'm going to cast it pre-combat. Yeah, I don't think we... Because this gives me something to exile with the Deathgorge Scavenger if they cast it to counter. But this is going to be a very, very tough card for my opponent if it does hit. Other than they do have like Vraska's Contempt. So it is a negate, but now we get to get rid of the negate. So I'm okay with that. So here's where Samut would be so much better than the alpha, because we could end a turn, flash it in, and then Majestic Mirror Arc for lethal. Ooh, Samut the Tested. Is that just better? I don't think so. I think it's just all about establishing the alpha here. Probably is a Scarab God deck, yep. I mean, this is week 1. Week 1 of the first rotated standard. There was a Torrential Gearhulk Scarab God deck, Search for Azcanta. That's that spiked up the Search for Azcanta the first time around. And it just became out. Teamer Energy just beats up the deck. Consign. All right. Well, that successfully took care of my turn. So is there going to be a Torrential Gearhulk now? No mana for it. So we're good there. So I'm wondering what the correct play is if we... I think it's just another Regisaur Alpha. And Oblivion can come. I wonder if I keep the Shelter Thicket in my hand just for the Oblivion. And another disallow. I'd have to discard 2 cards. Yep, I think I'm going to keep this Shelter Thicket in, because this card is in my opponent's yard. Unfortunately, we're to the Torrential Gearhulk level. And now I'm wishing I would have played that because it allows for... I think this game is the difference between going first and second. I mean, everything just came out. Okay, it worked. So I think we're going to get rid of the... Consign to Oblivion, and then I'll just play this Mountain, and then we can cycle away the Shelter Thicket. Hieroglyphics. So I don't know. I haven't played MTGO for a while. These decks running around like crazy, these blue control decks, because I thought that their biggest problem was Teamer Energy. That's why they basically fell off the face of the planet. It's actually going to be a good card, the Boss Me Defense. Abraid's also an insanely good card versus Torrential Gearhulk. So we've got some pretty good options here. Okay, that's actually really good. Now, I've got to decide where I want to go here. I think we're going to go the Miriarch and keep up the Blossoming Defense. Now, this could get out of Torrential Gearhulk, but I mean, that's some patience by my opponent. Okay, just an Essence Scatter. All right. See ya, Legendary Mana. Again, everyone that's on the channel, go check out Legendary Mana's channel if you want an exclusive interview with yours truly. And there is a search for Azcanta, which is pretty bad versus what I'm doing, so... I think Samut's actually better here. Because now we can give Double Strike and apply some pressure. And I could actually win here if I am ballsy enough. Come on, Vraska's Contempt. I'm not ballsy enough. Okay, I should have gone for it. Should have gone for it. I thought Vraska's 4 mana open. It's got to be Vraska's Contempt. Well, I was right. I was actually right. Okay, now I feel good about that, but I can't protect Samut. I don't know, Robert. I think Control is pretty much unplayable right now in Standard with Teamer Energy. It's just so inconsistent. When Control gets their good draw, they're going to beat Teamer's good draw. But when they I'm one off from winning the game here. But when they have like poor draws and medium draws versus each other, like Teamer Energy just beats up on a control deck like this. They just start to outvalue them. Fatal Push. We'll go with the Blossoming Defense. All right, so my opponent has to draw into a... Can't draw into a Bontu, so I don't know if there's much my opponent can actually do here. Because the Search for Azcanta needs to flip. It flips, so this is an untapping, this is an untapping, this is an untapping, this is an untapping. And so what can my opponent draw into for 3 mana? It's got to be another Consigned to Oblivion, 2, but I have 2 targets now, so I think it's pretty much over. So I'm not sure a Braid needs to even be in here. A Braid is kind of awkward. We're going to bring in the Lifecraft's Bestiary, and Carnage Tyrant does seem pretty good in this particular one. We don't need anything like Savage Stomp. Heroic Intervention, we know Bontu's Last Reckoning's in here, so I'm going to bring it in. And we're going to bring in this beautiful thing called Shaper's Sanctuary and Ronus. I think all of them do quite well versus what my opponent is doing. Holy cow, was that as loud as it just was on my end? My ear just got completely... Thanks for subscribing, Evan. I just added that while I was looking for the break thing too, and oh man, that just like destroyed my ears. I need to figure out how to turn that sucker down. All right, appreciate the sub. Okay, so the Scavengers are also really good. So I wonder if we don't need to ramp with the Drovers, so the Initiates. Like I would like to get to the later game. The Monstrosaurs, how much do we need those? But I mean, the Bestiary actually does work with Initiates too. So what's the weak link? What is the weak link? Maybe Ripjaw Raptor is actually the weak link here. Yeah, I'm thinking we want the Chandler Initiates. We can actually go down 1 Chandler Initiate, and we absolutely don't need the Ripjaws. I think this is not the match for them. Because no damage is being dealt to them. Usually they just die to Bontus or Vraskas. So we want the Blossoming Defenses. This is probably one I can cut a land as well. We're getting a little bit lower curve. Yeah, I think that's fine. We're on the draw. So audio's still been sticking with it this entire stream, right? I have a little box made for this thing too, but it just muffles it even worse. So here, now of course I want the lands. I think this is keepable. Because just statistically speaking, we have 21 lands we can draw into, and we have 3 draws before we need our 3rd. And basically, I would say, 4 draws before we need our 4th. And then you got to assume, too, that 7 of the creatures can get us there. So I think that this is just right statistically on the verge of keeping. Yeah, I think this black-blue control that we're seeing right here is probably pretty good versus Ramming Up Red. The way that it's built with Vraska's, Fatal Pushes, Bontus. But Temur, it seems incredibly weak against Temur. I mean, this was the week 1 Boogeyman, was this black-blue control deck that we're seeing. And then it really did fall off the face. Every pro was on this sucker when it first came out. And that's what spiked that Search for Azcanta, was the first one to really go crazy out of the new set. We saw Hostage Taker as well. And then we saw Vraska start spiking because of the oh yeah, that was another bad matchup for this, was the Hidden Stockpile decks. And this is where it's good when it has the turn 2 search. And we miss our land. Hopefully we can hit it off the 3rd. I mean, it was right there statistic. You know, we have over 30% of our deck left with lands and 4 draws or 3 draws. So statistically speaking, we should have hit it. So I'm okay with keeping these type of hands. That's one thing with Magic. Magic's very similar to poker. It's all about playing to your outs a lot of times. And we just miss it. So that's unfortunate with that. But we can throw away an alpha. And then proceed to lose this game. Womp womp. Drew alpha, bestiary, Samut. I agree, Ross. Legion's Landing by far is my favorite. Sorceress Kent is pretty powerful as well. They're both good. The black one's just terrible. Ugh. Good night. Now this is what, 5th draw? Or 4th draw? And I think at this point we don't need... Another alpha is still the weak. These are the frustrating matches in Magic. I think I need to bring the land back in on the play. On the play. We can't afford to miss land drops. And we still do not hit a land. And that one just gets censored away. Who knows though, my opponent might just have a ton of lands in hand too. Found another land off the top, but that's where the search is definitely going to help. Insult to injury gives us our last tapped land. But at least that gets us closer to where we need. What's going on, stupid? Just going to throw out the Scarab God here? Yeah, I don't think I can beat the Scarab God now. As it's going to be able to put out alphas. So in my own discard pile, the turns I had to discard is going to be the big difference. And I'll keep up the Blossoming Defense, but yeah, this is terrible. I'll play it out. I'm not sure I can win against this. Throw the Bontus, and then my opponent should go for the alpha. Not sure why my opponent decided to go that route. Oh, he still has the mana. Fatal Push. Okay, we'll keep it alive. Well, at least it got a Fatal Push and a Disallow out of the way, so the Scarab God isn't going to be... But I don't think we have an answer for the Scarab God in this deck. It's one of those cards that's just... too much value. And Samut's not going to do it. Chandra's not going to do it. Bestiary's also not going to do it. I'm just going to save. Yeah, we don't play this out. I'm just going to concede it. There's no way we beat the Scarab God. All right, so I'm going to bring back in the mountain. Now we're going to proceed to get flooded on this game number 2. And take out an Initiate. No, Initiate still seem pretty good here. How good is Ronus in this match? Can block the Scarab God forever and can get through. I actually don't think Ronus is good here in this match. Yep, too bad this is live. Can't skip it. I'll be a little more picky. Usually on when I'm not live, I'll play those out, but there was very, very little chance I came back from that game. We're stuck on the 2 again. This time I'm not going to keep it. Double Myriac, Boston Defense, charging Monstrosaur. And these are the games where MTGO's like, yeah, don't play. We don't want you to play. We don't want you to see that 3rd land. $24 is quite hefty with 7 mana dorks as well. It's a very, very high count. So this shouldn't be happening. We are heavy on the 5 drops. Jeez. And we'll mold a 4. Womp womp. If anything you is there, it might be Samut. Unfortunately, we've got the sensors that our opponent could have in her hand. The best case scenario, our opponent just goes, drops a land or drops another tap land next turn. So mull into 4. Look, it's Nick. He's back. Tasty Snackies is back for more. Still haven't answered your Twitter, Tasty. You didn't miss much. You just missed my mic dying on me. Now I am icicle free. I need to find my other backup one. Just put a tap land in, my friend. There we go. Oh, he's gonna fatal push my chant. What a jerk. Come on, I mulled to 4. I mulled to 4. You can't do that. Surprised he kept in fatal pushes, to be honest. Yep, Nick, we found out the problem. This thing's separated and is now not connecting. So, womp womp. May it rest in peace. The icicle. See, I hate these tap lands. Maybe we do need to go the Aether Hub route. We can go down in our land count if we put in the attunes, and then we can go Harness Lightning over a Braid. Still put a Braid in the sideboard. And then, so we can go Aether Hubs, attunes, and then just get rid of these Shelter Thickets. Just go down to maybe a 2 of. Because the tap lands are killing us. Either flooding or starving is killing us, and that's something that attune definitely helps out with. This is going to get disallowed or negated or censored. Yep. Our opponent did miss a land drop too, but I mean, this is a draw deck. They're going to be able to find out lands out of this. I could be wrong though. The thing is though, there's probably still a lot of disallows or negates stuck in my opponent's hand. Well, we'll keep running out. Ooh, this time do you want to route the yeah, let's run out Samut just to play around a censor. Yep, okay, another disallow. So we could win this game if my opponent keeps getting stuck on no lands here and just runs out of disallows. And I'm going to play this just because it allows us to... Told you this was going to happen. No lands into all lands. See if it's disallow number 4 or 3. Nope. Awesome. Looking for an Essence Scatter. No Fatal Push either. So if we run into like a Myriarch, we actually have quite a bit of damage coming out. This could be a Vraska's Contempt though. Or a Bantus. Gonti. Oh, gotta play a Gonti against me too? That's just rude. What's the best card I could run into here? That's a good one. That was a good card to top deck. We could actually win this Mold of 4. The flip Tolarian Academy is awkward, though. It's very, very awkward. Maybe I'll pull it up here. Gifted Aetherborn. That's annoying. And a Search for Azcanta. And we find yet another land, of course. Good news, though. We have the Chandra Plus, which is just really potent or powerful. The Serra Sanctum will be really, really awkward, though, Robert. There's just not... They didn't really find us another land. So we're going to go from last game of literally seeing no lands to this game seeing every one of them. Fun. Huh. So do I want to keep back... This is a kind of a... I want to try to keep Chandra alive, so I'm not going to attack with either one of them. I think Chandra's the key to victory here. Nope, I don't sleep at the store. I sleep at my house. That's, I think that I broke this stupid thing on coming here. So, why it's like way stuck now. Yeah. Stupid thing just separated. What if I can return it? I doubt it. This has to be like a manufacturer's not glued on properly or something. So now my opponent has plenty of land, still has a card advantage. And just contempts it anyway. Okay, sure. That's fine. It has another Gifted Aetherborn coming out. Kevin, what do you think of the Command Zone being officially sponsored by Magic now? It's no surprise. I mean, they fit right along with them politically. That's the issue I'm having. Like, the biggest issue, I'd be just perfectly fine if I'm a very outspoken person. I'm a very open person, too. Like, I'll talk about, I guess that's the same thing as outspoken. Ooh. One card in hand, huh? I think it's worth it. Command Zone themselves are very safe, though, because remember, I wasn't getting in trouble for things I was doing on an officially sponsored video. Like, I don't think you can go back to any sort of the Rogues Alley videos and I was saying anything at all political on the sponsored videos. What they were getting mad at me was for tweets. So go through Jimmy Wong's tweets and you can easily find some very contentious tweets. Or, similar people that have been sponsored by companies in the past or by Magic. Rah! Took a Samut of... Oh, come on. You can't take a Samut of a Samut. Gonna go here. Oh, they're gonna make a trade here and then kill here. Well, we're kind of like... I guess that's a decent trade. Yeah, well, me too, Ross. Right? Like that's what I was talking about. Who did I talk about on my Q&A? That was the tweet that really, like, the thing that Jimmy always engages with other people that he engages with a lot of the like the skeptic culture, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the anti-progressive culture, anti-SJW culture, and says some very controversial stuff. We'll put it that way. Samut the Tested, I don't think really does anything. Double strike on Drover. Yeah, I think this Scarab God, was that the last card he just had in hand, or did he draw into the Scarab God? Is going to get us again because it's just too much value. We got flooded. This is pretty good showing, though. We went to 4. I think if we would have been able even to go to 5, we would have been okay here. But I can't even really protect it with the alpha, right? Is there a way I can still win by top decking something? I'm happy with this, what this deck did, because this is a game 3, correct? Yeah, we won game 1. And game 2 we just lost because Magic said we couldn't play the game. And then now game 3 we lost because Magic says we only get 4 cards to play the game with. So I'm okay with this loss. I think that the deck performed pretty well versus the black-blue control. So my opponent should be taking a... Yeah, an alpha. Because this gets really weird with... Oh, can take another one. Oh, this is so over. Yep. All right. And we did get the Mirror Arc off the top, but it's just not going to be enough. So, yep. What was I talking about? With Evan Irwin, huh? Yeah, but Evan Irwin even got pretty controversial on his little Magic mics. He's been controversial on it over and over again. And, of course, that just rubs me the wrong way with... See, to be honest, I think that was the call. Was there... First of all, Evan has a huge, like, beef or bone to pick, whatever you want to call it, with Jeremy Hambley. And then I also know that a lot of people over Gathering Magic are very, very friendly with Christine Sprankles. Like, they've done a lot of work with her. So they wanted me to condemn. Get on that bandwagon of just condemn. That we should all, do whatever we can to get Christine back in the game. And I don't think that... I think it's a big misdirection. So I'm done. This is the day where you say we don't want to play Magic. This. I think we keep it on the draw. But this is assuming we can get that 3rd and then the 4th and the 5th land. And we are going up as Teamer. That's good news. And we do get the 3rd land, so that's also good news. And we have a braid for the Cub. Is that worth a braiding? Yeah, I think so. Give us that 4th land now. Yeah, it felt like a hit piece to me, Ross. It felt like everyone was coordinated. I felt like they reached out to Christine even after she decided to leave, because those things weren't bothering her. Maybe they were bothering her. I shouldn't speak for her. But she stayed with it for a long time. I mean, the video was done 6 months ago. The tweets were relatively recent with this whole spike thing. But the thing that made her, if you read her tweets again, she quit over the flip it or rip it. That was the... because she was getting so much hate for it. And to, put that all blame, it just seems like everyone reached out to her afterwards and said, hey, did this have a part of it? And got her to make that tweet. And then that started the chain of events of everyone simultaneously doing a video on it. But again, we're getting political. I said I was going to get political today. You guys just keep baiting me into this stuff. You guys are bad viewers. Bad viewers. But anyway, we've seen it happen in so many other places across the culture. What they like to call wrong think, or I don't like using buzzwords a lot of times, but I mean, it's no different from magma spray. The Cub's going to get me here. Knew I should have gone for Drover. See, this is why I don't think dinosaurs is going to be a relevant archetype. Because what dinosaur do they have right now that can turn into a 5/5 without any resources being pumped into it? Yeah, I don't think there's anything that comes back from this now. Because then we get off the top. We can't. Yeah, we need to hit a land earlier. This is not working out for us. We are getting just rickety wrecked. So, we did see magma sprays. So cards like Shaper Servant I like in these big grinding matchups. I don't think I care about the Aethystra Harvester. They could be running. I didn't really show my opponent a lot of cards though, so I don't think my opponent knows what I'm running. I like Savage Stomp in here, and I really like the Ripjaws in this matchup, and this is where the Ronus is key. I'm typically not a big Abrade fan because it doesn't hit enough targets. They could be bringing in the vehicle that they can crew. The Scavenger also isn't a card I care about in this particular match. So Carnage Tyrant is actually not very good against energy. I think that's what's kind of keeping it back. So it's either between the Shaper Sanctuary or just keeping one Abrade. And I think I'll keep the one in. Well, Jake, that is a very typical draw for Teamer. That's why Teamer's so good. It just has the best cards in every slot. It's impossible. See, we're trying to do a different brew that uses pretty good cards in each slot. Just our curve is so much worse than Teamer. The deck is, like, after testing this, is pretty 50-50 with Teamer, but I've said that about almost every deck I've ever played. You look at all the Tier 1 decks right now, Ramanup, Oketra's Monument, God Pharaoh's Gifts, all the control decks, they all claim to have this favorable matchup versus Teamer. Yet Teamer continues to stay the #1 deck. So, Teamer's just its bad and its okay draws are just better than everyone else's bad and okay draws. How long have we been live? I don't know, 2 hours off and on because of technical difficulties, but we'll work on it. I'll try to get better. What do you guys want as a streamer? That's the little problem. One of the reasons why I'm such a crappy streamer is I don't watch streams to begin with. I'm not a person that kind of interacts with other streamers or even views the replays of streams a lot of times. Like, I'll get bored. Who was the person saying they wanted to skip through the video? And that's exactly how I am when I watch YouTube videos. I'll either put them on 1.5 speed or I'll skip from part to part. So I'm not very familiar with streams, let alone being a streamer. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack, not attack in, because we have a Samut. We can do it. Do you know, Tasty, I've never done Commander on MTGO. I've never even played it. I've done 1 versus 1. Well, that's going to be an annoying card for me to deal with, other than we can't quite stomp it. This just does 2 damage divided as I choose. Ugh. Okay. At least we have a 4/4 Mariarch. That's cool about this ult too, is you can win with the ult. Well, okay. To be honest, though, I have watched a stream. I've watched Admiral Bulldog in Dota 2 stream quite a bit. But then again, I actually prefer to watch his YouTube videos rather than his live streams. Just like someone like cuts up his videos and just shows the highlights. Those I find more enjoyable than sitting through a stream. So I think my opponent's going to try to use the Thopter to create some... Oh my goodness. Maybe Mariarch is where the energy is where it wants to be. It can get huge. Really, not going to go for the Thopter. So I've got to decide where I want to go with Samut. And it doesn't matter. Our deck is just going to draw us out of lands. Do I want to stomp away the Virtuoso? I feel like my opponent would have to... I hate doing this because there's Glorybringers coming up. But this will force off, there we go. Yep, force off some flyers. And then I can kill the 2 flyers with, doesn't this divide 2? Is it better than pumping up? I think it's just kill these 2. And I think we just need to keep back the Mariarch. Yeah, we needed another creature there. See how much resources we just used for one Whirl of Virtuoso, though? Because of this, this card needs to go. It's Attune with Aether. You can't build a green deck and not go energy right now. It's just too good. And one of the reasons being is Attune is a free card that adds resources. I mean, it's almost like saying a card that says search your library for basic land card, gain 2 life, or gain 3 life, or something like that. I know these need a push. These just search your library for basic land. But the 2 energy was just too versatile. So let's see here. We have to draw. I don't think that is going to help. I could bait off a... Go double strike on the Majestic Mariarch. Then just block on the... I think that's actually better. Gonna take the damage. So now this is going to force off a block with my Drover on the Bristling Hydra, or I just lose Samut. I still think that's better. Just to get the damage in. There's the Magma. Oh, that's very annoying. They're both going at Samut. I'm going to try to keep it alive. But now this should just result in my opponent pumping up. Bristling, yep. And there's the backup Bristling Hydra. So once again, though, we did flood out pretty terrible. I can't really attack in either. We can still win with like a good Samut. Maybe I should have gone for the ult. I don't think we would have been able to get there with the Thopters, though. Or just kept this back as... See, another Virtuoso. Just too much energy. This is what happens when we let Mark Rosewater design sets. It just goes crazy with his mechanics. How much resources have already been pumped in? So two Thopters, some Aether Hub activations, and my opponent still has 6 energy in hand. And I just have to let this go through. Because that's 2 Thopters or 2+1/+1 counters. And geez, I just want to play Magic today, MTGO. Just one game without too much flood. Like, have we played a game this time without a reasonable spread of either lands or creature? Or so this game we've had a whopping 4, 5, 6 versus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. So the land is much higher than average. And then the last 2 games, too, we're just stuck on those 2. I'm surprised he didn't go for my Myriarch there. I think that's actually better because you could get the Hexproof and Haste off of it. I'm just going to let this go through. I need an Alpha would be pretty decent here, too. Cub. Cub is a card that's going to be incredibly tough to deal with. Yeah, that is just ugly. Alrighty. Thanks for stopping in, Jason. That's the biggest frustrating thing about MTGO. This happens, like, you'll hear this off of everyone, but these runs of all lands or all creatures happen so much more often than it does in paper. The draft is where it seems to be even worse, where the majority of games is decided by who floods out and who doesn't flood out. It happens in paper too. I don't want to sound super salty, but MTGO just seems like it happens way, way, way more often with the true random. Well, just compare the energy one with the dinosaur one. First of all, it's the top 5 cards. I mean, it'd almost be comparable if you Commune would say search your library for a dinosaur and put in your hand, but that, of course, that'd be broken. Dinosaur or land. But the top 5 can easily miss. Here, if we're stuck on this 2 land nonsense again, I think we'll keep it, though. Is a token of the Oath of Ajani possible? Not that is that yeah, that came out of Kaladesh, didn't it? I wonder, because there's a few planeswalkers that could actually. Does that one add the planeswalker counter as well? That one does, right? Oath? Is that Oath of Gideon? I think they both did. So we're good if we can hit our land. If not, we're going to be in the same repetitive cycle of what we were the last few games. And if our opponent kills this Drover. What? What? We're playing against another dinosaur deck. Hey, we hit our land. This is pretty good. So I have some options here. So Chandra, I like making these plays a lot because you never know what kind of cards our opponent or hands our opponent kept if they need this Drover or not. So we're just going to kill it. Because I don't think there's really much, like an Earthshaker Kender or something, to come out and kill. Johnny makes him cost less. Okay. Rampaging Ferocidon. That's a card that I thought about putting in here. Do I want a Myriarch here? Or do I just want to race my opponent and go charging Monstrosaur? I think I'm going to go with the charging. Yeah, we're racing. This is a pretty good race hand. Because now if I put something out, it's going to cost them a life as well. And they're attacking into Chandra, so that takes them back a turn. Or some life. So let's see what my opponent puts out. We do need to hit a land here for the Myriarch. It's going to be a Ripjaw. And I'm not too... Yeah, I don't care about that too much here. So a 6/6 trample versus a 5/5. Or do we go Ripjaw? I guess doesn't really add to my game plan here. So we'll go Myriarch. Or do I want to just flash in the Samut? No, this is 6/6. I think that this is going to force off a block by my opponent. I don't think they can choose not to block here. So I'm going to get a life or a card out of this, but going to go down to a 5. And this is a tough scenario for my opponent. So we're actually going to win one. Wow. Against another dinosaur deck in the O2 bracket. I don't know how, if Magic actually does try to match people up in the queues. I think the competitive queues they do. Friendly, they don't care. I think that's the big difference. Friendly just matches you up with the first opponent possible, whereas the competitive tries to match you up with similar ratings. Someone weigh in on that if they know for a fact. Diddley, I don't know if it is just true random versus what we're just used to is shuffling cards. Like, shuffling cards can never be truly random, is the problem. Did my opponent try to use Deathgorger Scavenger to gain life? Your Rampaging Ferocidon is kind of stopping you as well, bud. Yep, so shouldn't have even tried there. Should have just got my Chandra. But it's over. My opponent can't block enough. There it is. And again, I'm not a dinosaur deck per se. I'm a Myriarch deck, so this should be interesting with how this plays out. I think I do want the extra Braid. I'm not sure if Aether's Harvester actually does seem pretty decent in this match, or the Savage Stomps, because I think I have time to... I don't know if I need these Deathgorger Scavengers. I don't think I need them at all. I actually don't think I need the Harvesters. I'd just rather bring in like the Stomps for some added... and Ronus actually does seem very good in this one. So, but Ripjaws also are great. Maybe I don't need a Braids. A Braids killed the... Well, I did see 3 targets that a Braid hits. So do I care about protecting my own cards for Blossoming Defense type stuff? This is still a match where I think Samut is pretty good. Maybe going down in 1. Maybe the charging Monstrosaur isn't the right. We're going to be greedy. I think I'm going to go out the Blossoming Defenses, because I don't know exactly how my opponent built this. If it's low on removal and trying to establish threats. Hey, I'm not mulling. This is a terrible hand, but I have lands, so I'm on tilt here. I'm keeping 5 landers with a 4-drop and a 5-drop because I'm not mulling to 4 again. The tilt is real. This we can just put in a forest is fine. The Chandler Initiate was very good here. See if we get Magma Sprayed. At this point, I think I'll trade a Dork for a removal spell. Probably just going to put out a Rampaging Ferocidon here. A Scavenger. I'll kill the Scavenger with Samut. Nope, Chandra's better. See, Chandra was a card I didn't want to put in here too because of the price tag and just... I don't like playing good cards if you've noticed by now. And Chandra was just a necessary evil for this deck because it worked perfectly with the Mana Dorks. So I probably should go up to 4 of Chandras to be honest. And go down to 2 of Samut. Samut was just cool because it can tutor up the kind of the kill combo. The Samut and the Majestic Myriarch. And there is a Ripjaw Raptor, which is actually pretty decent. Yeah, that's rough. Other than we can keep back our Initiate. If we use Chandra's Plus. Or do I even care about Chandra? No, I think I just exile top card of my library here, to be honest. And we'll cast it. No. That can protect it for a turn. Yeah, I think it's fine to protect Chandra here. Because it's a 0-1. Possibly that wasn't the right play. But giving me yet another turn with Chandra to plus up, I think is pretty good. And this, again, not giving my opponent a draw. Opponent could just sacrifice a Ruins to kill Chandra. Fair enough. We'll allow that to happen. I don't want to protect it. I'd rather have my Initiate. And we have a Huntmaster. So Ripjaw Raptor of my own, I think, is the right play. Yeah. And now it just comes down to a who can manage the resources better. We're both flooded. I'm not too worried about even like a Carnage Tyrant because if my opponent wants to go the race route, we do have more like high impact draws we can draw into. They can just one-shot. That card, that's actually okay as well. But our Raptor is just something that shuts it down. And now we have the Myriarch, which is a 6/6. And we can definitely cycle away the Sheltered Thicket. So it's another card that's going to be tough for my opponent to attack through. Still 2 cards in hand, though. Just needs to kill the... Oh, another Ripjaw. Juicy. See if we see any sort of alpha striking coming. Interesting. Wants a card, huh? I also want a card. See if it's a Blossoming Defense. I don't want to lose the Myriarch, though. So another Sheltered Thicket, we can at least just cycle it away. Appreciate the subscribe, Timothy. Hopefully I'm not boring everyone here while trying to concentrate on this game. And it's going to Lightning Strike just away. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't go with the Myriarch there. Going to go for the Initiate now. I think we got some good value out of it. Down to a 4/4 now with the another Sheltered Thicket. Like I said, MTGO comes in runs. But we'll go the other. And I still think I probably want this other land out. We can cycle the other one away. Not going to attack in. But now with the Blossoming Defense, that definitely means I can block with these Myriarchs. So if my opponent wants to do the attacking with the Ripjaws this time, I'll make the trades. I'm not the trades, let's kill them. So 2 cards left in my opponent's hand. We have 3. We're ahead on land count. All right, a Cycle Sheltered Thicket as well. And I'm trying to think what other cards could be in my opponent's deck. So very similar decks, except I'm sure my opponent's heavier on the dinosaurs. Cool thing too is I can use Samet to stop my or draw with Ripjaw Raptor. I can actually just divide 2. One in my opponent's face, one in my Raptor, right? Does it say opponent? And our players know. Okay, so I can use it to enrage my own dinosaurs. However, my opponent does have a pretty good advantage on the creatures until I drew this card. That was a great draw. So we'll do an alpha. And that actually pumps up my Myriarchs by quite a bit. They are now 10/10s. And they also have Trample. So do I want to attack in with 1 or just hold back? I think we'll just hold back. Because they have Haste and Trample. I could probably attack in with 1. I mean, what does my opponent block with? I can get up to a 12/12. Yeah, I think we'll just wait. We'll wait 1 more turn. Try to establish 1 more creature. This is where Ronus off the top would just be insanely potent. Death Touch Trample. Death Touch Trample will just do it. Another alpha. So it's going to be the player that's plays more of the defensive route, I think, will be the big winner here. And the mirror arcs are 100% going to be the mirror breaker. All right, that worked out. So we'll cycle this other sheltered thicket away. And find another land. Ugh. And find another land. Ugh. So here I think we're just going to go... I could go double strike trample on the and then force off a lot of blocks. But I think I'd rather just draw a card off Samut at the moment. Possibly not. Because can I just win here? With a huge alpha strike on... Because it can get double strike. So I got trample. Yeah, I think we'll attack in 3-6. I think I have enough damage here, to be honest, if I just attack it with everything. Because I have 20 points of damage off the mirror arcs. And so 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 31. And my opponent has 5, 9, 5. So just like bad blocks could be the difference to block. So 20, 24 off the mirror arcs by themselves with the blossoming defense. Because my opponent would want to block here and want to block here. So if that's the scenario and then throws everything else and then blocks here. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should have gotten double strike to this dinosaur right here. I think... Do I die in the backswing if I attack wrong, though? I think I'm just going to attack with one of them. I possibly could have, if I wanted to figure out the math here, have enough, especially if my opponent... you could bait my opponent into blocking very incorrectly. So that, I think, so that absorbs 5. So my opponent will take 5. If I pump it up to a 12, that's 24. Is that just lethal right there? So I have 24 and my opponent is blocking 5 of it. So it would put it down to yeah, that's lethal, correct? 12, 24, no, 24, minus 5. If it's so, yeah, so 12 goes through plus the other 5, that's 17. I'm going to put my opponent down 1. So I think I'm going to keep it back. That's fine. That's fine. No, I had it. Jeez, that was 19. I had it there. Good God. You 24 minus 18 is 6. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had it there. I apologize. I don't know why I counted 17. That is why I am a 1600 scrub. I counted 19 the first time. I'm like, no, it's not 19, Kevin. That's 17. And then just double overthinking it. So definitely attacking the double matrix. Doesn't matter. My opponent scoops it up there. All right. Yeah, it was 19 damage. Womp-a-da-womp. We won a game, though. Isn't that exciting? And we didn't get terribly flooded that game. It was, like, pretty reasonable. So, our deck does good versus the mirror, for what it's worth. We'll definitely keep a 3-lander. I actually do want to see some teamer matchups. I want to see some teamer matchups where I can actually not get stuck on Tumanir. Unagi Don, it's Japanese barbecue eel. Nope, I have not. I'm not the biggest fan of Japanese food. I like Chinese food. Japanese is just not my style. And the Chinese food I do tend to like is probably very, very Americanized. Got to remember, I grew up here in Richfield, Utah, in the middle of a tiny, tiny state. What is our food of choice here in Richfield? It's what we call funeral potatoes. Potatoes. It's potatoes with cheese, basically. Jello. No, those are just stereotypical Utah foods. All right, so if I can draw one more land, we are golden versus energy. If I like fish, I have to try it. Well, I like fish my way. I don't know. My favorite fish, I like a lot of the more flaky white fish like perch. That's probably my favorite tasting fish. Doesn't eel has a pretty good, yeah, doesn't eel have a pretty good flaky white meat taste to it? I think I've had eel before. Well, unfortunately, we missed our land drop. I think what we're going to do is kill the cub. And then protect Chandra. So I don't think energy can do anything here against Ripjaw Raptor. Harness Lightning would do it. It would draw me a card and use all the energy, though. Well, that's what happens. So Chandra bites the bullet. We don't get the other land either. Yeah, isn't that lovely? A two mana spell that can do 5 damage. But we do get the alpha here. And now our deck is running on full cylinders. And this is a pretty good energy draw. This is pretty normal. Harness Lightning, Long Tusk Cub, Rogue Refiner. Still has 5 cards in hand. We have 4. So, how do I want to do this? I don't think we really attack in with the alpha. We can't attack in the alpha. It would actually, yeah. Okay, so another alpha allows me... Miriarch is an 8/8, though. And I don't think my opponent can put enough resources on it. So I think we just go Miriarch and alpha. Or to go... Alpha Strike is what I mean. If I go the other Regisar alpha... Yeah, we don't lose a lot. I think that's the right play. And we'll smash in. So he's going to trade with the 2 Rogue Refiners. That's fine. I want one of the alphas to survive. So the worst case scenario, I think, for me, is my opponent double blocks on the alpha with the Servant and the Rogue Refiner. But these Miriarchs are just going to rip my opponent to pieces. So there's going to be like a Glory Bringer in my opponent's hand. Yeah, that's... It's what I built this tech to try to showcase. I mean, the alphas are pretty... Remember the hype this card had? I mean, I haven't seen a card hyped like Siege Rhino-esque in a long time. And it's this card because people remember playing against... Was it Broodmate Dragon that was very similar to this? And it was a powerhouse back when it was in its standard. And this card definitely has the power level. I think this is the... Either this or Hostage Taker, I would say, has the greatest power level out of all of the... cards out of Ixalan. Maybe Search for Azkaban and Legion Landing. There's actually some pretty good cards out of Ixalan. It's just being overshadowed by this nonsense. I mean, this is just ridiculous how much value energy. They'd had a 5 damage spell for 2 mana, draw a card and you know, add 2 damage, add a counter. Yeah, this I expect the Glorybringer. Glorybringer's going to attack and kill the alpha, and then I'm going to swing for lethal. Well, everyone was hyping Carnage Tyrant, and I kept telling people Carnage Tyrant is good against control, but it really isn't good against anything else. But the alpha is strong. It's 7 power. I think also when alpha started, there was a lot of board wipes. People were still in the blue-red, the Torrential Gorehook blue-red, which basically fell away because that deck definitely needed the man land. What was that land? The blue-red land from Battle for Zendikar or whatever it was. Appreciate the subscribe, Bishop. Okay, we're pretty good. I think that Harvester might actually want to come in here. It blocks Glorybringers. I don't know if my opponent's running a Braids. I think I don't need a Braids, personally. I think I'd rather... Shaper Sanctuary doesn't actually seem bad either in this particular match. We're going to go Let's Grind Out the other person. I don't like the Scavengers, but there'd have to be 2 other cards to be cut, and I think would I rather try to protect with Blossoming Defenses, which is where I stand, or we could actually get rid of, like, Samoots are actually kind of weak in this one. Go down to just 1 Samoot, because it's hard to really protect Samoot here. Yeah, I'm gonna try a different route. Not gonna bring in Bestiary though. Well, I wouldn't mind a lot of the times with like people have been asking for pirates for a while. It's just like Wizards is so cheesy with stuff lately. It's like I always joke that it's geared. It definitely is geared towards 13-year-olds. It's not really the old school fantasy feel that it used to have. Like they keep dumbing it down and dumbing it down. So this is a decent hand if we can get another land for the Ripjaw Raptors. Ripjaw Raptors is another card that is pretty good versus the Teamer decks because they are damage-based decks, and it does survive the Glorybringer. So let's see. Do I care about the Sheltered Thicket? I'm going to play it. I'm actually going to play a Sheltered Thicket and play tap. Might as well. I think we want that 5th land. But here's another card that's actually good, but it's just terrible. It was terrible when it first came out because Fatal Push still kills it, and Vraska's Contempt still kills it. And it doesn't get any value out of those. And when this card was trying to see a lot of play, I think the very first deck that picked it up was Whining Constrictor decks. It just fell flat because everyone was just either walking the planking it, Vraska's Contempt, like the Fumigate still killed it. Those type of cards, it was getting no value. Whereas nowadays, if we're running against a lot of Raminap Reds and Teamer, the Ripjaw Raptor is going to get value. So I actually like Dinosaurs is something that I think is just right there. It's close. We need another Dinosaur 3-4 drop range is where I think we want before we can justify trying to run like a Dinosaur Tribe. I don't like going into like a Naya because I think the mana is just not there at the moment. You're into 2 colors that have a lot of those lands that come into play tapped, which I don't like. If they were more the fast land type lands, which you do have Inspiring Statuary or Inspiring Vantage, but the problem with Inspiring Vantage is then it doesn't go towards your other lands that want to come into play untapped if you control a land of a certain type. And so it makes the like turn 4 and turn 5 extremely awkward to try to have that nice curve. And whereas Energy, you can see Energy has this beautiful curve. So I love our hand, though. I think our hand right here is incredibly good. The Harvester is going to do some work. And Samoot is going to do some work as well. So, yeah, this is a great little hand. So the Energy has to go down to a 1. That's fine because we have time. My opponent's going to try to beat me down, but never mind. Energy's back up to where it needs to be. I'm going to go with another Ripjaw because that allows for it's going to be a Glorybringer. Good God. Yep, it's going to be a tough draw, but I think we actually can be okay here. So we got the Blossoming Defense down this time, but well, that worked out well. I'm just going to pass the turn because we have this Samut that we can flash in. But anyway, back to, so where I think dinosaurs need is they need another green. Specifically green, maybe white dinosaur. And green-white looks really good, and so does red, red-green dinosaurs. But the problem is, though, after rotation, a lot of the cards that I'd want to play with dinosaurs just go away. So is my opponent baiting out? Well, we'll bait out the Abrade or whatever. I want my opponent to use their mana. Okay. Appreciate the subscribe, Chance. So Bray did happen. Unfortunately, we don't have Trample at the moment, though. So my opponent's just going to bank on... Yeah, has... Oh, there's another Thopter. This is ridiculous. See how ridiculous energy is with being able to create so much... Yeah, because I don't have Trample here. I have Vigilance, Haste. And my opponent just has too many blockers. But I couldn't have done anything any other way there, because the Abrade, my opponent could just used on my turn. So what do I have to draw into? A Savage Stomp to take care of a Glorybringer? I guess I should have waited there. At the end of turn, another Heartless Lightning takes out a Samut. This card just scales too well. You could make the argument for Harness Lightning getting the boot. It needs to be one of these cards. I'm to the point. Even though I do think energy is beatable, it's just the consistency is just too high. And we're just going to see a standard format dominated by it until it's gone. The only thing I could do here is like a Ripjaw or an Alpha. I died to the backswing, so... Hey, appreciate the donation. We'll go on to the sideboard. How do you say your name? Ravon? Is that how you say your name? Appreciate it. Lots of... The Bestiary, of course, doesn't come in. Carnage Tyrant's just terrible. Heroic Intervention also... I don't think that's the route to go. I think we just keep it as is. And we'll ship this back because it's terrible. And this is also terrible, but I think it's going to be okay if we draw a Ripjaw Raptor. Or an Alpha. I think both of them are actually pretty good. Chandra's also pretty good here. A Mountain is not good. But it is that 5th land we need. There's the Servant. And now it gives us that 2-drop after. Whoops, I probably should have allowed for Blossoming Defense. I actually don't even care if this dies, though. If they want to use a Harness Lightning on a Drover, I'm perfectly okay because we have no plan in sight here for ramping out anything. Yeah, I wouldn't want to protect it either. I think I'd like to keep. Yeah. So, add 2 damage, add a counter, draw a card for 3 mana. Initiate, that's something we can at least cast. And this is just sequencing terribly. We have a Glorybringer going to come out right now, which I don't think I care about protecting if a Glorybringer does come out. My opponent is going to exert. Only puts it up to a 3/3. I don't know if this is worthwhile to keep it alive. I don't think so. We'll let it go. Does exert the Glorybringer for a turn. And we do get an alpha. So, would I rather keep my guy alive or Savage Stomp? The race is on. However, my opponent's hand is very, very full of all those juicy energy cards. Even a Cub here would be very good. The thing is, we can draw out of this. Just another Rogue Refiner. So we do have action against the Glorybringer. Another Attune. So whenever my opponent does find the energy payoff, though, it's rough. Okay, that worked out. And we do want to attack here. Even though I have Mirror Arcs that it does give the trample to, I'd want to get those out of the way. Those refiners. Possibly that's not the right, but... Okay, another Glorybringer. It can kill off Initiate. Do I care is the thing. I don't think I care at the moment. I have to try to race. And I need this Blossoming Defense to help me race. So I would like to see a double block here. Just going to let it go through. Drover's okay. Of course, we would have rather seen any other card in our deck besides another land. Opponent has 4 cards in. I guess the mole there was one of the card disadvantage. Then being on the play was the other disadvantage, and then the 2 Rogue Refiners. So that was what the 4 is the big difference. And let's see if there's a third Glorybringer. See, this is another reason it's hard to play Dinosaurs right now is because of Glorybringer. Just another Attune. So that's not that threatening. We'll protect the alpha. Now my opponent's got to, make some decisions here. Oh, need another alpha or something. So we'll just attack him with the Drover. Because does this allow us for like a Samut on the backswing? My opponent's got to be careful for the 1 card that's in my hand. So decides just, like a Samut could win. I'm sure the Glorybringer is going to exert and attack with everything. Yeah, I expected that. Because now we have to block the Rogue Refiner. Otherwise, we'd have lethal. And I need to smooth off the top. No, to smooth off the top doesn't do it either. And it's just a Root-Bound Crag. Womp womp. Well, that league didn't work out for us. Another Initiate. Just too many of the variant straws of too many lands or too many. That one was too many dorks. How many dorks was there? 1, 2, 3. 3 dorks and 6 lands. So we had basically one card to work with the alpha. The Blossom Defenses did really well here. The more and more I read this card, the Shaper Sanctuary, the more I'm liking it against the meta at the moment. It's a great first turn to put down, and then it should start to get card advantage. Glorybringers, it's a mess because it's whenever it's a spell or ability, you get to draw a card. But I don't know. I don't know what the additions we need to be putting in here. I think the best way to do this is just bite the bullet. Go down to like Sheltered Thickets and some forests. Probably one more forest. I'm sure we can get away with a lower land count by doing the Attune route. The Blossoming Defenses could probably be moved over. Braids can also be moved over. And then we'd go a full package probably of Harness Lightning. And then that gives at least some value out of the energy to utilize it. Because I think, what is Teamer Energy still runs? Because we'd be a very similar curve to Teamer Energy. So I'm going to check out, see how much of their mana base usually runs at. And it looks like, looking over the Magic World Cup, look at this. Look at this nonsense. Team Energy, 4-color energy, Teamer Energy, Teamer Energy, 4-color energy, Teamer Energy, Teamer Energy, Teamer Energy, Teamer Energy. All these Teamer Energy decks from the Magic World Cup. So they run 22, so we can probably go down to similar land base. How can I say it's saying Ramen-Up is actually bigger now than Teamer Energy, huh? What did it just wipe off? Was it that big of the Magic World Cup? No. Blue Gift, 4-color Ramen-Up. Ramen-Up. It looks like Ramen-Up was everywhere. Okay, yep, wow. That right there, that big chunk. Everyone was on Ramen-Up at this last tournament. This is what it's making so difficult, though, with Goldfish's status with the metagame, is, first of all, this is being basically controlled by Wizards. They're only showing, you can only have one deck per day of the same archetype that will show up on here. Well, the reason Ramen-Up is higher is because Goldfish like purges. I don't know how long the last bit of data comes from. So the Pro Tour is probably still not on this data. So why there's this big chunk of the standard metagame is definitely going to be because of, it looks like the Magic World Cup had the most participants. I mean, this is all the data that Goldfish gets to put, is all of these are going to show up, whether they did good finishes or not. So Ramen-Up's going to show a bunch of them that probably did like 0-4 or something. I mean, how many games they actually, doesn't show how many they played, but it's gonna take this whole conglomerate of information and throw it in that 76 decks played. And how many is there right here? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30. That's 40. That's like 50 decks right there from the Magic World Cup. That's crazy. So that is pretty skewed because it seems like Teamer was not played nearly as much in the Magic World Cup. But look at these on the right-hand column here. No Ramen-Up, Teamer Energy. All right, so one Teamer Energy made it. They can't show anymore. 4-color energy. Up, That's Teamer Energy. Grixis mid-range, isn't that slightly almost like the energy variants? Glorybringer Hosh. Okay, so they're going energy, but they're not going the green route. So yeah, maybe it's Harness Lightning. Maybe it's Harness Lightning needs to go for the energy decks to get nerfed down. I doubt they'll make any bans. I think they'll just let Standard do its thing. But it's not attuned with this deck. It seems like it's going to be the Harness Lightning that just scales too well in the format at the moment. So then we have, what's this, UBR? Okay, this is also, no, this is not an energy deck. Yes, it is. It's sort of an energy, but it's not enough. It's the Decoction Module combo. But then you scroll down here, and yeah, I'll be Ross. I'll be moving the Servant over instead of the Initiate. So anyway, this one has a Teamer Energy and a Sultai Pummeler. Those are very similar decks, and a Full Color Energy. So look, so we have 4 Color Energy, Teamer Energy. These are basically the exact same decks, except this one usually has Scarab God. That's the big difference. Is I guess this one's going to go for Glint Sleeve Siphoner, Gontu. Actually, this is more like Sultai Splash Red for Harness Lightning and Whirler Virtuoso. But they're very, very similar decks. So we have 2 here, 2 here. Then this one, that actually was one where it didn't make it, except for Black-Green, is another deck that's very similar. Very similar. Still using the same green shell of it. And this one I could actually be an energy deck too. Oh, nope. Yep, this is a Pummeler energy deck. So it seems like every day there's going to be some sort of energy deck that makes the list. So this is very misleading. Very, very misleading. U-White Gift too. This was played a lot at the Magic World Cup too when we looked at it. So Sultai Energy is still a huge portion of the meta. I don't think that anything got better just with the Magic World Cup deciding to play a ton of Ramen Up. But yeah. There's that little spiel. Anyway, so yeah, let's change over the Initiates for Servants. I still don't think we need to go a full slot of them. Maybe we can now and drop one more land, drop like a mountain. We probably need to drop another mountain, put another forest in. So now we can add a whole thing of Servants and something like, what just got added? Something looked like it got added there because we need 2 more forests. No, we'll put the mountain back in. So we need to cut 2 cards. The Deathgorger Scavengers probably aren't good enough in the main. They're good versus the Ramen Up matches, but after testing this, Ramen Up wasn't like a match that I cared about too much. Like Samut was really good against Ramen Up. That's why I had it in as a 3 of. But I'm thinking we might be heavy on this slot over the Deathgorger Scavengers. Braids can probably go down to a 2 of. The Cannonades, I don't think there's any decks that we actually need Cannonades against at the moment. It's something I think I can safely cut. There's no like Monument decks and stuff that are an issue. I still think we want most of these cards. 2 of Braids is something I still want. Do I cut like a Samut to throw in a Braid for the 5th? Yeah, let's do that. Let's just cut 1 Samut for the Abrade. And then we have to cut 2 cards here. I don't want to get rid of the Deathgorger. Carnage Tyrant tends to actually not be... I like it just a 1-of versus control. Because it's just like the one card they can't deal with. But at the moment, I don't think we need it. So I'd cut that, keep the 1 Abrade in the side. And Stomps, we might not even need Stomps. Or just go 1 Abrade. I think 1 Abrade's fine. Something like that would be the list I'd run. I think we'd have a little bit better matchup versus a lot of the decks. We got the Attunes to thin out. And kind of the energy shell for the Harness Lightning to scale. That will also kill Glorybringers, which I think are really, really good versus this deck because of Chandra. So, anyway, that would be the list I'd run. Before I go, let's just go play. I said I was done with this deck. I want to play some. I won't finish this on the. Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to pump in tickets now. Out of play points. It's funny, my rating probably got killed. I don't think I can show the rating because I think that's private info on the little account tab where it shows rating. But anyway, I had it all the way up to 1900, close to 1900 with the Marionette Master combo, and now my rating has been completely destroyed. Pedro, Shaper Servant's kind of awkward to have multiples of because you don't want to be using a lot of your opening turns. It's good when you have like the 1 because it keeps you above card advantage, but card advantage isn't necessary enough where you need to be guaranteeing it every game, and there can be definitely games where you draw it late where it's just it won't give you card advantage. It might have 1 use and kind of replace itself. So that's why I just like running a 1 of. All right, so we are playing my signature deck. This is a decent hand. We're gonna go ahead and keep it. I just was sick of losing, so I'm gonna queue up a winning deck. And this hand's pretty good. It's got Chart the Course for the Metalwork Colossus. And this is actually a pretty decent hand versus ramming up. Try to cast a Metalwork Colossus for 1. I don't think that can happen. What's the news on Frontier? I would love to play Frontier if I can figure out when and where and how to play it. Like, this is a deck that I would love to try out in Frontier because we get another an XX spell, the one that generates Thopters. It's been forever since I played that card. What is that card called? Hangerback Walker. And Hangerback Walker is really, really powerful, and you get some busted cards from Khans of Tarkir. Like Treasure Cruise would work insanely well in this deck. All right, carry Zev. That's a great play because the Beaumont Courier is not going to be able to get in here. All right, so I think that is worthwhile to throw in Walking Ballista at this point over a Chart a Course. I usually like to keep the Walking Ballistas back after I get a Gate to the Afterlife established. But, I mean, our opponent doesn't really have the most solid hand ever. Now I can block the Monkey and kill the Beaumont Courier and just not take damage. All right, so we're not blocking monkeys. We're blocking Earthshaker Kenners if they attack in. No, you know what? I actually go for the Courier here. Make my opponent have a choice if they like what's in their hand or they want to gamble. Because we're at a very healthy life total. Versus Ram and App. And one of the ways that they're going to get back in this game is to establish a Beaumont Courier. And there's a Soulscar Mage. That's annoying. So I'm going to go Treasure Mage because I want that gate out as quickly as possible. And this will thin out having to draw it so I can try to find another land. Utah, yeah, you learned something today. What is Utah's national dish actually Jell-O? I don't know if it is. It is?
Jell-O salad, yeah.
Oh, the only time people eat Jell-O here is usually what? Maybe family gatherings?
Every single family gathering, we have Jell-O salad.
But no one likes it.
I love it. It's sour cream. It has bananas,
It's
pineapple,
okay.
and
Jell-O's
strawberry.
okay.
My mom, except for don't eat the green one with carrots in it. It's disgusting.
I don't know if you can hear Zach. I think this one picks it up. But yeah, funeral potatoes are huge here. Ay, ay, ay. This is a messy little... The Hazoret, of course, was the rough one. I think we blocked the Earthshaker Kenra. Block the Hazoret. And then shoot off a monkey. So we only take 1 from that, so that was pretty decent. The only problem, though, is we have to hit a land here. Because we need both. Oh, geez. Well, we're going to go Champion of Wits. The Hazoret was like, it was any card but a Hazoret, we win this game. Hazoret, I think, is going to make us lose. We do find it. I don't think I need this other, well, Metalwork Colossus goes away. I don't think we need this other gate. So this actually does allow us for a Minister of Inquiries. So we're actually not out of this yet. The thing is, though, I don't have the hand that can explode. Yeah, I don't have the hand that can, like, turn the tides here. So I'm going to be blocking the Hazoret again. I don't like to do this block. Can I take the damage? I don't think I can from the Hazoret. Or I could block here, but I'd like to keep up. Yeah, how we're going to block is we're going to go on Hazoret, and then we're going to go on the Beaumont Courier. And then I take 4 and go to 8. Because this next turn allows me to go Gate to the Afterlife and... actually crack it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I don't think we can crack the Gate to the Afterlife. Yeah, this is tough. Well, we're just going to put out another blocker. This leaves us open to a Braid. However, we have a really good play here by being able to block a Hazoret and block a Monkey. And my opponent just messed up with Hazoret. So we saw this happen at the Pro Tour. Now we're seeing it happen here. My opponent forgot to cast a card so they could attack with Hazoret. So I think we're actually going to win this because of that play. Other than there's still a lot of... We're on definitely a clock. All right, so we're going to block a Monkey. It's going to shock me to Prowess the Soulscar Mage, sure. And gives us a pretty decent... Okay, so I think we're going to get rid of Chart of Course, because that gives us another blocker. And we're going to get rid of the Ministry of Inquiries here. So no Marionette Master yet. We can try for it with this Champion of Wits. Well, let's try for it first with the... Well, the Walking Bliss would make me draw a discard. We don't have lethal anyway, because it can block. We have close to lethal. No, I do have lethal. If Champion hits here, I have lethal. So we just need Champion to find a Marionette Master. And it did not find it. So we'll throw these two away. Do I want to cast the Walking Ballista, though, for free? Yeah, I think that's fine. Because we're not going to find what we need. This will gain me a life and loot. Nah, we'll keep it in our hand. And we'll get the one out of our deck. And we'll keep the island and 2 ballistas. So we're still not out of this yet, but we do have... My opponent's going to drop down to 5. Can I block enough here? No, I think I die no matter what. Because that Hazard activation. So I should have done the Walking Ballista. Because I take 3 no matter what. No, I just take 2. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. We go down to a 1. Okay, so we're still... I think the only chance I have is to... mill myself here. Because it's just activation, and I die. I could go for like a Glintless Crane and try to find like a gate to the afterlife, but there's 2 gates already in. So I think I just have to YOLO and try to mill myself. Oh, no, I could have... I know what I... Oh, got it! We win. Okay, so we win. The YOLO works out for me, but actually now I'm looking at this, what I should have done is I should have just got a Trophy Mage and then got in their Gate to the Afterlife with the Trophy Mage and then cast 2 Walking Blisses to gain 2 life. That would have been the right play, but we actually got the right card. So now we can go... Marionette Master. And we'll just put the servos. I'm not even going to show them the combo. We're going to do this lazy combo here. Because that's 9, 10, 11. No, that'd be 8, 9. So that'd do 5, and then we'll do... Yeah, we'll just sack them all to the... Where's the Metalwork Colossus? Hold priority. Metalwork Colossus. And that's lethal. So that's why I love this. That was a very good draw by Ramanup. I mean, look at the... Boom. See what a difference it is with being familiar with a deck and winging a deck? I have a ton of games with this, and it's just, I know all my outs with this deck. I know exactly how to play against each scenario, and knowing like the only options. So here, Metalwork Colossuses are totally unnecessary, and then you only need to go down to 1 Godfarrow's Gift. Vraska's Contempt, Villagers Familiar, Hostage Takers, very good. You don't need as many of the Marionette Masters, and the Hope of Garipers are weak. So, another thing too is I know exactly how to sideboard versus all of these matchups, so. Oh man, Robert, you're breaking my heart saying this is a Saffron deck. This is a Rogue Deckbuilder deck. This is my baby. This is the deck I've been working on for months, and it took me forever to 5-0 with it. I've had a ton of 4-1s. Brought my rating up from a sub 1500 all the way up to a 1900 on MTGO with this deck. It is pretty good against energy. It's really good versus Ramnup. It's great versus the other Godfarrow's Gift decks. I still, to this day, do not see the point to running U-White Godfarrow's Gift over the refurbished version over something like this. I think it's easier to shut down. I think this deck is something that can come back out of nowhere. A lot of the matchups that U-White is better against, this deck is already has the advantage, I would say. Or sorry, so yeah, against. So the U-White is better against certain decks, but this deck is already either 50-50 or has a winning record versus the decks that U-White is better against. And the decks that U-White's weak against, like the control lists, this deck is much better because it has access to Lost Legacy. It's got access to a lot of other cards that can get you out of some very tricky situations. So I've argued with people that play the U-White Godfarrow's Gift deck, and that are just really, really adamant that Angel is just this phenomenal card. And it's hard to see what scenario Angel would be better than just casting or just bringing back a Marionette Master and winning right there. I guess we do have to rely on another card in our graveyard, the Metalwork Colossus, but most of the times the combo is quite easy to assemble, and even if I don't have the Metalwork Colossus, it's very hard for them to attack in to the Marionette Master on 4. But just a little heads up, Seth, Saffron, and I have been tweeting back and forth about Marionette Master in the new card, and we have a friendly little bet of whoever can win a match with the 7-drop and Marionette Master, the one that adds a treasure for each land you control. So this is a great hand, actually. So I don't like the Marionette Master, but we have a chart, so we have a way to put it in the graveyard. Yes, you go down to only 1 Godfarrow's Gift because you don't want multiples in this matchup. Sometimes where you want the 2 Godfarrow's Gift is decks that can actually exile it. This deck has a hard time exiling it. Not saying it can't, but that will require their land to exile it. All right, so my opponent's got a nice draw, but it's actually kind of slow. All right, Glintnest is going to miss because it always misses, but don't worry about it. It's a 1-3, and it didn't miss. We have a gate, so we'll take the Filigree Familiar. So go check out the TCG Player article they wrote on this deck that didn't give me credit either, those bastards. Anyway, they just kept talking about how bad this deck is, how bad the Glintnest is going to miss, and just this, because they did like an overview of Godfarrow's Gift decks. And they just totally had it wrong. With like the Glintnest Crane, they said this should be the Seeker. Absolutely not. Glintnest is so much better than the Seeker because of the 1-3 body with flying. 1-3 body with flying can actually block a lot of troublesome cards in this format, like an Aethershore Harvester or a Glorybringer if the Glorybringer doesn't kill it. My opponent's going to want that Abrade pretty soon here. Uh-oh, we missed a land drop. All right, we just need to find a land here and we're good. Champion's fine. That kind of finds a land. Okay, perfect. So we'll put the Marionette Master in the graveyard. I'm not going to be using like this either strategic planning or chart a course. Possibly do need a Glintnest though in the graveyard just to have the combo ready. Oh shoot! Shh. I just F6 and I had a land drop. Oh man, that's going to hurt. Because we could cast it next turn. Oh boy. So I just might have lost that just because I F6'd it. Oh, that sucks. That's going to turn another turn behind. That was my bad. Getting too excited, and we would have had it. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. So this is going to mess things up. I have to go Walking Ballista on one. I hate the F6 sometimes. Sometimes, like, because I was thinking through and then trying to talk to everyone, and that happens. So we have it for next turn, though. So not terrible. And our Gluttonous hit. So there's worse things in life. We might still have this. I think we definitely would have this here if because I'd actually have the combo. I could have won right there. Put it on 7 and cast 2 Walking Ballistas. So that's 21 damage. I don't know, because we wouldn't have drawn this. Yeah, we would have. No, we wouldn't have. This would have been 1 turn away. So Beaumont Courier's annoying. That's actually a good draw, that Beaumont Courier. Still think we block the monkey. A third of Braid, huh? Did I win on the backswing, though? Too bad I have to block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My opponent only goes down to a... Or we only go down to a... So I don't want to get rid of the Beaumont Courier. I don't think it matters. Do I need to save that last bit of damage? Can we win on the backswing with a Walking Ballista by itself? Do I just need to go to the face here? I might need to go to the face. No, because I can't use the Gate to the Afterlife and... I put it on 7. I hit my opponent for 7, and then I hit my opponent for another 7. So I need to put it on... Let's be safe here. Okay, so that is a terrible card, but I might want to just get it in the graveyard and just cast a Walking Ballista to put myself at 4. So we're going to go Gate to the Afterlife. And my opponent can't have any more Braids because they are all literally in my opponent's graveyard. There's 1 left in my deck if they're running a full playset. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack. We're going to use a Walking Ballista on 0 just to put us up to that 4 life. I'm not sure that matters. And we probably actually do want a Trophy Mage in the graveyard. No, we don't. We want the Marionette Master in the graveyard. And we have to put servos, and we might just have to block with everything possible. Really? I think that was a terrible, 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 terrible activation of the Beaumont Courier. Because now my opponent has to decide, has to get rid of a card off the bat. Yep, just messed up his attack again. I have not a clue what that was all about. So punt for a punt. Okay, there's Invigorated Rampage. What is an Invigorated Rampage doing to my opponent's deck? Okay, well, we do have to worry about a random Invigorated Rampage. We'll submit this. So I still think, I'm not sure if I would have been able to come back with that. That was 2 games in a row my opponent had dump hand into Hazoret. So no doubles, no duplicates. And those games on the play, when they're on the play, are really rough with the 1-drops. However, I feel good about this. It has 3 Abrades too. Yeah, we need to find a Vraska's Contempt or a Hostage Taker for those stupid Hazarets. Okay, I think this is keepable. So they're running them now, huh? It seems to me like a liability with Fatal Pushes. Same thing against the mirror. When they run against the mirror, it just seems like those things can get shocked. So you have to play... So let me explain this hand, why it's a good hand. Is anything with Minister of Inquiries and Trophy Mage is, or in this case, Gate to the Afterlife, is a pretty good hand. Because you can fill up your deck within a reasonable time. That's a pretty good little draw too here, strategic planning. And now we can just take the gate. I wonder if I want... Yes, I do want the gates here. Probably not going to end up blocking here. What I want is an Earthshaker Kinra. Or do I want my opponent to shock my face? Okay, I actually think I do. Because I have 3 cards in the graveyard. I think this block is fine. Because my opponent's got to decide, okay, do I want a Lightning Strike to the face to kill off? Oh, yeah, perfect. And, whoop, we find what we need. So I don't even need to mill anymore anyway. So we absorb some we absorb 2 damage from that. And I think that Champion is still better. 1, 2, 3. We could go with Trophy Mage or Champion just to get out another gate. I don't think we cast the gate. So I actually think the Trophy Mage is slightly more powerful in this instance. We do want to hit our 5th land drop though. If I didn't know about the 5th, we'll go Champion. Perfect. So I don't need this island and I don't need this Trophy Mage. Or shoot, it's a Marinette Master I didn't need, but actually the Marinette Master in my hand is actually pretty good. So let's see that we'll make a block, 100% make a block on this Soulscar Mage. Well, maybe we won't. Yeah, I'm going to let it go through. Rampaging Ferocidon. That's annoying. Now I wish I would have blocked. Because Filigree Familiar too. Well, the thing is it will be the Familiar. Because that can block the... That's usually one of the troublesome cards. So I'm actually glad I kept the Marinette Master in my hand. Because now if we draw one more land, we can just cast it. So we can have a turn 3 Gate to the Afterlife. Hostage Taker can take care of the Rampaging Ferocidon too. Not sure if I want to go that route. Another Soulscar Mage I don't care about. If my opponent does get themselves down to 18, or 16 is usually where I like it. and decides not to attack in. This also helps if my opponent has the Braid. Okay, so we get the other land. Yeah, that was too slow. My opponent messed up. So actually what I'm going to go grab here is the Trophy Mage now. Because it goes and gets another gate. I could go get the Marionette Master, but I think the other gate's actually better. It creates that. Yeah, it creates the card advantage. So we'll do it all over again. Oh, but I don't have the land. I don't have the cards in there now. Yeah, that's right. I'm one off. I should have counted before I did that. And missed. But that's fine. We'll just sit back. See if there's another Braid. Jeez. Whew. 2 games, 5 Braids. Wow. Opponent is not, though, progressing their board, which is the good news. I think Marionette Master will have to have counters on it if I hardcast Marionette. Do you want Chart or Marionette? I think Marionette's just better here. This can actually block a Hazoret. And so we have a Trophy Mage and 2 more gates, plus just 1 more land starts allowing us to have the champions. We don't have a champion in the graveyard. We have Vraska's Contempt. One's on the bottom. Earthshaker Kinder's pointless. We have Walking Ballistas. This will just win the game here as well. And we do want this last land, so I don't... Well, we'll chart first to see what... I could actually tack in. Yep, we'll just get rid of the island. And at this point, I might just start attacking in with Trophy Mages. Yeah, I'm going to attack in with the Trophy Mage just to do some damage. And my opponent's down to a 13. That actually gets kind of scary for my opponent. Especially with 2 Filigree Familiars and a Marionette Master on 4. Don't get any life. That's annoying, but is what it is. It's going to be very hard for my opponent to come back from this. Even if there is a Hazoret in hand. Minister, I don't know if I even care. I think I will still cast it. It takes the damage, but that's fine. And that is the card we were looking for. Because that's 6, so I believe we have lethal here. I'll show you how. Like that. So there's the ramming up matchup for you. Not a tough matchup. That was, of course, not ideal, but I mean, my opponent can't get 3 games in a row with the unload your hand Hazoret draw. I mean, game 1 we beat the unload your hand. My opponent did punt a little bit on game 1. Then I punted in game 2, so we'll play one more, and then I'm going to call it a day. And appreciate everyone for watching. This has been fun. I think that as the stream has progressed, I've got more in the rhythm of stuff. And if you have any ideas that you want for the Rogues Alley, so here's we'll recap the 3 series that I want to start doing more regularly on my channel. So one of them probably will go to a sponsor that I'm in talks with right now, and then the other 2 will stay on my channel. So Bitcoin for Magic cards, Kevin. I don't even know how Bitcoins. I know how they work. I just have never. Didn't Bitcoin like go up to $14,000 today? Or yeah, the price of a Bitcoin is insane. So anyway, the 3 matchups just to the 3 things to recap. We're gonna try to do like one I'm gonna call like jank off or let's jank off, which is gonna be me trying to play a really janky deck, and then I want the Rogue Refiner. That's a play on words, pretty good one. And then the Rogues Alley will stay here. So if you have any ideas for those particular ones, Rogues Alley is just going to be trying to play a more competitive Rogue Brew. And I'm probably going to do it like a series like this one to try to perfect a deck for quite a while. So I'll be playing. It's probably going to be a stream from now on. I think that's, I like the stream. I'll try to get the better microphone going again. And the Rogue Refiner will be taking your guys' ideas and trying to refine a deck into submissions. If people can email me, you can sign up from a Patreon for the tier. It will be specifically for it. And other than that, or just super chat will be a way to. We'll just stream and then super chat and go from there. And then the again with the jank off will probably just be a really crazy. Hey, it hit, but it hit 2 lands that I wanted as well, Brew. So any ideas you have for those series, let me know. Well, and where do you prefer streams? Do you guys prefer them here on YouTube or do you want Twitch? I actually have 1,200 followers or some junk on like that on Twitch. I haven't been on Twitch in like 2 years. Well, that one sucked. We'll take a gate. Cartel I used to watch. I don't know, me and Jeremy are having a bit of a tiff right now. He came on my stream and like, I don't know if he was joking or not, but it came off very, very threatening to me on the stream that I did, the 3-hour stream that I did. We have a little bit of a history, Jeremy from Cartel Aristocrats. I don't know the other 2, but I'm kind of with you too. It seems like their entire podcast is all about why you shouldn't invest in Magic cards. So they're a podcast about investing in Magic cards, and all they do all day long is tell people not to invest in Magic cards. That's kind of my beef with them. So I used to watch it quite regularly, but I just found it was to be kind of just meh. If that makes sense. Like, again, I don't want to start any drama that's already been started, but Jeremy Who's Them has been around in the community for a long time, and he's I feel the same way about stuff I've said about Wedge in the past. Usually if there's drama in the community, Jeremy's fingerprints are somewhere. And not Hambly, Zemet. It's part of Cartel Aristocrats. He was behind like recording people's Skype calls without them knowing, a bunch of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. And then it's on that. You can go watch that stream. I told him, hey, let's take it to here. I'm not gonna go in on this on my stream. Let's take it to PMs. And he immediately unfollows me on Twitter. So I'm like, all right, there's 4 years down the drain. 4 year friendship down the drain. Whatever. So I still think a Marionette Master in the graveyard is better than another God Pharaoh's Gift. We can rip it from our hand anyway. Yeah, don't get me started on Wedge. Wedge. Oh, now that was the most beautiful draw ever. Do we just win here? I think we just win here. First of all, let's see if we can just naturally get in a... Is there a way for me to discard? Yeah, so we're going to use this to mill ourselves. And we did not hit what we need to hit with the Gates Afterlife, so I do have to use one of these Walking Blisses, so I don't win here. Because nope, I win here. Okay, so then we'll use this to loot. And we loot a Metalwork Colossus. And now we can crack and throw out a God Pharaoh's Gift. And then we can bring back a Marionette Master with servos. And then we can do the Hokey Pokey. Did I just like double click something? And was that what turn is this? What turn are we on here? Oh, this is turn 6. Okay, so that's not that impressive. I've been just watching chat like crazy. Ooh, okay, yeah, I was like, there could be a random sensor, so I don't need to cast this for anything. So that's why I like the Marionette Master. Look at that, wasn't a bad hand by my opponent. That was a pretty decent little hand. So is this this could be Pummeler. So we do like the Bantu's Last Reckonings here, and I like the Hostage Takers and the Vraska's Contempts. Sometimes these are not necessary though. So actually, I think we're going to try to go for our strategy rather than... I'll bring in like one Hostage Taker. We don't need the Filiary Familiars or the Hope of Garipers. I think Hostage Taker is probably better than... maybe Strategic Planning. We can... Yeah, I'm going to take out one Strategic Planning. But I'm not going to bring in Vraska's Contempt because they do have a lot of like Blossoming Defense type cards. This is barely keepable with the Strategic Plannings. I think we are playing against the Pummeler, yeah, for sure. I think this is Pummeler. How come I always draw a God Pharaoh's Gift? Stop it, deck. So there's a lot of ifs here. We need the Strategic Planning to find a land. So the perfect case scenario is it finds a Metalwork Colossus and a Marionette Master, I think, or a Champion would be good to find. So, ooh, actually, do you know what? Chart's better here. Because we have known information. So the chart, of course, does not find us a land. We're going to throw the Marionette Master. You always throw the Marionette Master over the God Pharaoh's Gift just for your creature count, even though you're not going to cast either one of them. So That sucked that we missed the land, but we have another shot at it. And we have another chart the course that will be good with it, too. And we just hit it anyway, so now we can go champion. And champion is really good here because we have at least one target we want to throw away. And we're going to throw away the God Pharaoh's Gift. And I'm going to throw away at this point. Oh, Jesus. If we can get... So I don't want the Gluttonous Crane gone. I actually think it's the other champion because the Gluttonous is better at digging for what we need. And we have triple walking ballistas. That's huge. So I'm going to throw away the champion. Because we have a strategic planning that's going to go through. We have 4 cards we can draw next turn. Or we can go through 4 cards next turn. The Cartouche. Yep. And the Cub. I actually think my opponent should have put the Cub, unless they just drew the Cub. So another God Pharaoh's Gift. So I think Chart the Course is better here because it gets rid of another one. Or Strategic Planning goes through 3, so we want to hit. And we barely hit it with the Drowned Catacomb. And so we'll go Drowned Catacomb, and I actually think that the Gluttonous Crane is better here. Because it's going to get us 3 cards deeper, or 4 cards deeper for... Okay, it missed, so all of our cards are on the bottom that we need. We have a chart next turn, though. So we've gone through over 20 cards to find the gate. And we'll need to block the Cub now. And we haven't seen a Bantu's either. A Bantu would be pretty decently powerful. Okay, still nothing. So, we will chart a course. That gets it there. So, get rid of the God Pharaoh's Gift. Throw out a Trophy Mage. And do we still not have a... We don't have a Colossus either. So this shuffles everything back in, but we get the gate. And I will attack in with the Champion of Wits because any damage at this point is very relevant. We only have 5 cards in the graveyard. Are you kidding me? But we'll have the Walking Ballista. But it doesn't matter. Our opponent canceled out. Okay. Maybe I do want Vraska. See, Vraska's Stamp's just so weird because we have to play around what our opponent's doing. So, Familiar also doesn't seem terrible now. No, I'd rather just dig. Yeah, that was just one of those draws that was very unlucky for us that we had to dig. The double Cartouche was annoying. We get to go first here this time. Unfortunately, it's going to be a mulligan. This is very keepable, though. Yeah, this is actually a decent hand. That's what I like about this deck is it mulligans very well. We're going to put this on top, sure, with the land, and we have Minister. Appreciate the subscribe, Ethox. We will do something I usually never do with the Minister. The reason why I'm attacking is I want the card advantage off the chart. There's nothing worthwhile to discard, so the chart's just going to draw us cards. Now there's a Hostage Taker. That's going to be a good card. Hopefully it's going to hit like something that's cartoushed. And there, now we have an awesome champion that's going to be able to get rid of a Marionette Master and the Trophy Mage. We don't need either one of them. That's 2 creatures in the graveyard. This is a pretty exceptional hand because we're going to have a nice little play next turn as well. So a Rogue Refiner. Don't really care too much about it. I could actually Hostage Taker it if I cared. But I think we'll establish... Whoops, I didn't mill. Ah, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. And we'll go Gate to the Afterlife. And then another Minister. Attune. The energy is getting there. There's the Cartouche. That was a terrible... I don't know if I go for for the Hostage Taker next turn. Let's see what we can muster. Glenest is great. That gives us a blocker. But we'll go for this first to see if we can... Jeez. Still not even close. Metalwork Colossus, though, now is in the bin. So that's pretty good. So Blossoming Vents would get rid of a... No, I think we just Glint Nest Crane here. Gives us a blocker. We'll cast another Gate to the Afterlife as well. We'll have double gates next turn. Hopefully double gates next turn. I can still miss. I literally can. Probably should attack the champion. Jeez. Where are... We're about at 50% land. What would I suggest for a player wanting to get in Modern on a tight budget as a deck? Go with Goblins. It's really good right now, and it's very inexpensive, Alex. If you like go wide aggro, it's very, very inexpensive. So no tap out. So I have to basically... And that was a very, very poor attack by my opponent, I think. Because this allows me to loot. And now we can just loot whatever. Yeah, we win next turn, don't we? Hostage Taker's better to throw away. And so is Champion. Champion should definitely find what I need. So I'm dead next turn if I don't kill my opponent, is the thing. So I could bring back a Hostage Taker to get rid of the Electrostatic Pummeler. I'm not sure if a land matters here. Because I only have one Marinette Master. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the second Marinette Master. We missed. So let me see if I have the damage here with just that gate, cracking that gate. How many Walking Ballistas are in the bin? 2? So it's better just to return back a... It doesn't matter because I can still do a Glint Nest Crane. So let's go Glint Nest Crane here to try to find a Ballista. All right, let's get rid of a Godpharaoh's Gift first. All right, this needs to find a walking ballista. There's the marionette. That sucks. We still have another chance, though, to find it with a... So the first one we're going to get is we're going to get a Champion of Wits, because that'll draw us 4 cards. Because we don't want the other walking ballista, because my opponent can just chump block. I don't want to bring back a walking ballista. If we get back a Gluttonous Crane, they can't block the Gluttonous Crane, though. That's 4. Yeah, that's lethal. We'll go Gluttonous. Gluttonous Crane wins. So you go, Gluttonous Crane brings my opponent down to 14, and then we have enough. Do I have to, oh, I have double Metalwork Colossus? Do I have double? Because double Metalwork Colossus would work too, because I could cast a Metalwork Colossus back. So let's do Marionette Master. Servos. And then, because they have no flyers, right? So we're just going to get Gluttonous Crane. Oh, no, I can just go Walking Ballista here. Because that puts me at another one. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 4, 8, yeah, because I just need one more. So let's go Walking Ballista here. Suck it, Cancer deck. I'm more cancerous than you are. Wait, we can't say cancerous anymore, right? That's another word that... Alright, took me a while to figure it out, but that was that. So you can see, look at that. This deck is just... This deck is boss. It's we'll finish it off maybe in another stream for another day. But I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. Where's my puppies at? Oh, they're dead right here. Want to say goodbye, Chloe? Come here. Come here. Say goodbye to chat. Oh! Get up here. Ugh. Say we appreciate everyone following us. Why are you looking like it's a death sentence here? Just look into the camera. And we had fun. And let me know. Just send me some input on what I can improve on. If you guys like music and stuff like that, just send me sources where I can actually stream stuff without getting like my channel banned. I see people doing it, so I know it's possible. But yeah. And then if you have any other ideas for the 3 mentioned video series that I want to pull off, I'll appreciate the suggestions as well. Just email me. Best way to communicate, just tweet at me is the best way. I'd never check Facebook, so please don't Facebook message me. It's the most awful way to try to communicate, is especially the Rogue Deck Builder Facebook. It's something I check like once a week. So email's okay. Sometimes they get buried because I do receive a lot of email. Tweeting at me is probably the best way to get my... Usually people tweet at me. I will follow them so they can private message me. So anyway, I'm not going to lift you up, Scout, because you're too heavy. But Chloe and I are going to go home. She's tired, obviously. We're not going to stay up till 4 o'clock this time, I promise. And we'll see you again next time. The fishing channel will be at the first of the year, and then it probably won't get going till the summer, because I might do some like ice fishing stuff. But I need to, like, I'm going to throw together some funding to get a good camera, a couple of good cameras. And it's butt cold right now, though. It is awful. It's Utah. This central Utah gets pretty cold, and so besides ice fishing, there's not a lot of opportunities to fish. So I'll try to get it up and good to go sometime in the spring, summer of next year. The psychology channel, or just the other, my personal channel, that's gonna be up pretty soon. I think I'm gonna do it more Travis Wu style. Just walk, because I take these dogs for a walk every day, so there's like a half an hour where I'm just walking. And unless Chloe quits attacking runners, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. Little story about that. Yesterday, while we were running, Chloe she doesn't bite them anymore, at least. She goes up to them and goes, she wants everyone to know how tough she is. So she'll go up to them and go, "Rrr," and then up to the runner. And this lady that was running, I go and take them on a walk in the middle of nowhere. And this just happens to be this one lady goes and runs in the middle of nowhere. And she got pissed, threatened me with all sorts of threats, and said next time my poor puppies are going to get pepper sprayed if they come at her. So you're going to get pepper sprayed, Chloe? Anyway, I think I'll kind of do some Woo style, just vlogging like that to bore you guys to death. So anyway, that's that. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll finish this league off maybe tomorrow or maybe after Friday after FNM. See if we can 5-0 with it. Still pretty solid. Beat Pummeler and beat Ramanup. 2 tier 1 decks. Well, thanks for watching.